All right, happy Friday, welcome back. Concepts in training, diving into this training topic of functionality, aka the most pointless thing ever, standing on Bosu balls and doing movements and doing squats and all these fun little things and just bouncing up and down and acting like we're super functional, right? Like everybody's seen this little deal where some little fitness influencer puts a ball upside down and they stand on it and they gain their balance and they're like, okay, got this, and then they just start doing like curls or something, right? The concept of unstable training surfaces, the concept of half Bosu balls and creating an unstable surface is part of increasing performance or being more functional. Well, I got news for you. This isn't a normal training surface. This isn't even a normal standing surface, right? We're basically removing any sense of stability from a stable training surface, and we're losing our ability to put force into the ground. Why? Because we're taking that energy and that nervous system output and we're spending it trying to stabilize just our normal stance. So what ends up happening when we start to train on these surfaces is we basically end up losing our ability to produce maximal force. So if we're trying to gain strength, not very actually functional, right? Because we're not going to be able to actually produce force. If we're trying to increase stability, well, really just depends on increased stability for what? How often you really find yourself standing on Bosu balls, right? Like this is not a very common surface to stand on. So when we look at functional training, and a lot of people are like, oh, I did my wall balls, did this, and then half of Instagram sitting there standing on Bosu balls and doing these little weird exercises here. It's like, Bosu balls have a purpose in training, but I think a lot of times we get into this mindset of this is functional training. Well, no, it's not really functional training, right? Like, great, you were able to squat on this little Bosu ball and stand up and you've got your stability and you're doing whatever, and somebody gets on a foot and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do like a pistol squat and we're here. Well, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, right? Because we're on a surface that we're not normally gonna be on, and then we're gonna lose force production because one, this is a soft surface, like I can bounce up and down on this, and then two, what's my order here? Just lost it, right? One, we're not on a normal surface like this, right? We're not on a surface that bounces all the time. This is gonna steal force production. Then we're not gonna be able to neurologically produce as much force because we're worried about stability, all right? So we're gonna get a lesser physiological outcome than we could possibly get if we were on a stable surface. To steal the line from Pat Davidson, we're gonna kill no birds with 2 stones. So we're basically gonna be highly ineffective when we start going on Bosu balls to do these little functional or athletic things on Bosu balls. Really, especially if you see these like elite athletes, shout out Joel Seedman and whatever that other PT guy that throws stuff at people while they stand on these things. Like, this is a rehab tool, all right? And it's got some good implications for rehab. But when we look at actual training and maximizing output, this is a pretty poor way to increase functionality and put function into your training. More often than not, our time is best planes, moving at high velocities or heavy loads, or moderate loads and moderate velocities, right? And working the force velocity curve, varying the ranges of motion we work through, and biasing specific tissues. So if this is what your version of functional is, you're probably not actually getting that functional. You're probably just wasting your time, killing no birds with 2 stones, and could probably benefit from doing something else. So, end Friday rant on functional training. Until next time, we'll see you in the gym.